Welcome to GTC Teaching Tidbits Blackboard Ultra. In this series, each episode we focus on tips, techniques, practices, and ideas to expand your knowledge of and your comfort with using Blackboard Ultra. Today I'm joined by Lee McMinn from the Curriculum and Instructional Support Center, CISC. Welcome, Lee.
Hey, thank you, Rachel.
Well, in our previous episode, Rebecca gave us a sneak peek of what was coming for Ultra in November. And today, Lee, it's nice to have you back with us after a few episodes with Rebecca to share the updates for November 2023 and just give us a tiny little sneak peek into what we can expect in December. So, Lee, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. We really appreciate the time here, and I hope this is very beneficial to those that watch this. And I'm strongly encourage you to let your coworkers know about this, share this with your coworkers. Just to let you know, we have a lot of great things that came out in November and what's coming in December. It really is pretty awesome. You're going to be very happy with what you see. So let's jump right into it. We're looking at the updates for November, and I'll give you a little preview for December. So what we have, Blackboard puts out updates, as you know, each month, the beginning of each month. They're broken down into different areas. This is a list of some of the things that are out for the instructors. You can read through the list. I have screenshots, and we're going to talk about each of these. So if you want to read through this list, you can pause this video while you're watching it and read through it, and we'll go through and touch each of these with some screenshots in just a moment. This is what we have coming out that just came out in November for instructors and students as well. It's really big on adding images to different things. And then there's something specific for the students that has to do with submissions, which you can see what that is right there. So let's take a look at what this is going to do for us that we have available to us right now in November. First thing is matching questions, updates, basically. Basically, what's happening here is you can give partial credit or negative credit if you use matching questions. Also, they had seen a slight error, meaning that if a student chose all of the options, even the ones that were incorrect, Blackboard was giving the student full credit for it because they did select some of the ones that were all of the ones that were right when they selected everything. So that was kind of a little glitch, and they've got that fixed now. So that's what we have with matching questions. And this is just a little screenshot of some of the areas that you'll pay attention to. And again, you can select, you flip the switch to allow partial credit. You can check the box to allow negative overall score if you want to allow that. Some people don't like to have, like if they missed all of these and they got a grade of -5, well, students going, wow, not only is it giving me, did I get a 0 on it, but it's actually taking points away from my overall score. So that's an option that you have. I'm sure most people will not take that. Sorry. Some things we have some tab navigation for journals. When you would go into journals, you only had the one tab at the top. Now for instructors, you have two tabs here where you can actually see the journal itself, the activity. And then you can click on grades and participation where you would go and grade from here. You wouldn't have to jump back and forth from the grade book over to that. So that's going to be a big help for those of you that use journals. Grade optimization for assignment-based submissions and flexible grading. Basically, here's the big thing. If you've done assignments where students have to submit files, maybe they have to submit multiple files, what would happen is you would come into your grading area here, and there may be a long scroll bar here on the outside. And if the student had to submit 3 files, you wouldn't know that they submitted them all unless you scrolled down and saw the 3 different file items here. They would be separated with a new header bar for the grading tool. They've moved that to tabs. So now let's say this student on this assignment, they have 3 tabs, one for the assignment information. That's the normal stuff the instructor put in. And then they have a tab for every file that was submitted by the student with the file name. So you can see here that this student submitted 2 files, a PDF and a Word document, and the names of those files. Something else I want to point out, if you remember or notice that some people were getting confused with downloading files, they would come in here and see the file here, and they would click this button right here that is for downloading. The problem is if you're clicking the download button here in the black toolbar, that's downloading the converted file. And Blackboard converts these files to PDF. So if you're grading spacing, margin size, things like that, it may not be right. And if you download using this button here, you're downloading that PDF version, which again, you're not going to be able to check those things very easily. What it used to be and what they've changed, there used to be 3 dots here. And that 3 dots, the only thing that was under it was download the original file. Now they have the download button here in the corner. So if you choose this download button, it will download the file that's on the tab that you have selected, and it will download the original version of that file. So if you need to download the original Excel spreadsheet or the original Word document, PowerPoint, whatever was attached, this is the download button you would use. What we got last month was a split, so you can jump grade by students or grade by question. That's still there. It's just really improved, so now you can better see what files are attached. The other thing here is, again, if you grade by questions, you can edit and grade in the questions view. Used to be that if you grade by question, it would show each of the questions here on the left-hand side. And let's say a student, there was a misspelling in the question or something like that, and you wanted to edit it, you would have to jump back out or jump over to the student view. Now you can click the 3 dots at the top of whatever question you're looking at and choose to edit regrade right from there. So you can fix any mistakes that you have along the way. Sorting controls for the student overall grades, assessments, and manual columns in the grid view. Now you'll see in the grid view, you can apply the filters. It's going to show you all the filters that are applied at the top. And now notice you have sorting arrows at the top of every column, basically. And whichever column you're looking at, you sorted by, will have the purple bar above it. That's indicating the column that you're focusing on. But you can sort by student's name, by the overall grade, or by a specific assignment, test, whatever, including manual columns. And again, this is in the grid view, so that can be very helpful for you checking student progress. Again, sorting by highest to lowest, lowest to highest grade or whatnot. So that's a really, really good feature that we have now. All right, image buttons added. So in the content editor, that means there's now a new button in the editor box for Ultra documents, for journals, for discussions, and course messages. And again, this is primarily for the instructor. So if you want to add an image inside of a course message, you can do that, and it's real easy to do that, basically. Again, for instructors, this is the 4 areas where you have this image update. I've got a couple screenshots of those. So first, let's say you're creating an Ultra document, and you got the text box here that you've added in. You're going to see the little image button here on the far right-hand side. Again, that's to insert an image. When you click on that, it's going to open up this little panel here where you can choose to upload a file. Or if you click the drop down at the top, you can go and look inside of a feature that's been added called Unsplash. That's just a free image selection area. And you can type in topics and search by that and search for images there. Once you find or upload the image that you want, of course, it'll stick it in the text box. Now, students can add images in their discussion responses. They can put images in assessment and test question inputs and in course messages, and they'll have the same tool available. So, for example, this is an example of a discussion area. You see where they can type their response. There's the image button right there, and they'll get the same options that the instructor had. They can choose to upload the file or pull it from a Unsplash or something like that. So this is a big improvement there where you can really enhance your these different areas. All right, next, one of the last things is a late submission indicator and submission receipts. And this is really part of what the students will see. You know, when they submit an assignment, they get this first little pop-up as soon after they click submit. If the assignment is late, even the submit button says submit late. I mean, it's telling the student it's late. It just confirms that in their submission receipt. Again, it shows here in this pop-up that they see that it's late. It puts the word late at the end of it. They can choose to download this. It will download it as a text file. If they just close this, they're automatically going to get that receipt as an email. So here's what it looks like if they download the text. This is, of course, a version from an Apple or a Mac computer. Again, it tells them very clearly. Now, the red arrow is not there. Neither is the blue circle around it. But it tells them it was submitted late. It's kind of hard to argue that. And then if they were to, in the email, it tells them in the email. Again, the red arrows and the blue box are not there. This is just for you to highlight and point it out that it was late. So there's really no excuse for the student to say, oh, I didn't know it was late. They're really going to see that in 4 places: the submit late button, the submit late submission receipt, the text if they download the submission receipt, and the email of the submission receipt. So if they missed that, they really just weren't reading it. All right, here's what's coming in December. Authentic discussion and journal prompts. That just means that you can, we're looking for authentic assessment, things like that. And so this is going to update some of the capabilities we have in discussions and journals. Due date exceptions on group assignments. For those of you using group assignments, you can have due date exceptions there now for groups and/or students within the group. The English department and those of you that use rubrics will love this. Up until this comes out in December, you're limited to rubric sizes of 15 rows by 15 columns. Wow, that's a lot. I would think that would be enough, but for some people and departments, and it's not. Large rubric support means just that, unlimited size. You can have an unlimited number of criteria and an unlimited number of rows. There you go. Update to multi-select questions. Again, that just has to do with the multi-select option, the matching, if you will, not matching, multi-select. Again, there was an issue with that's getting fixed in December, which again, if they selected everything, including the incorrect responses, it may give them full credit on that. That's going to be fixed in December. Sorting controls in students and questions tab. That means, when you're grading an assignment, you look up the students, you look up the questions. There's going to be some sorting options in there. So you can choose to sort by question type or by student name, different sorting capabilities. Grid view sorting controls, again, that we have some of that now. They're going to improve that and add some more. And the automatic zero gradebook improvement. Oh my, if you're using automatic zeros, right now, if you turn it off, you get an option of just turning off and leave the old ones there. What's going to happen now is, let's say you have a student that's withdrawn from the class. Right now, if you add automatic zeros, it's going to apply it to those students as well. They're no longer students in your class, and you may need to know what was their grade at the time of withdrawal. So what's going to happen now with the automatic zeros, it's not, if you turn automatic zeros on after someone's dropped, it will not apply automatic zeros to those students that have withdrawn. So you can get a better picture of what their grade was when they withdrew. So that's a really big thing. What's coming in December that applies both to instructors and students is additional image insertion and generate options. Again, there's other places you will be able to insert images. There's mobile app enhancements coming to the grades. Right now when a user comes into Blackboard for the very first time, they get these pop-ups along the way. The first time they log into Blackboard, those pop-ups are going away. They're not going to come on. They can choose to see them if they want to or not. And then they're making some improvements to the content page, the course content page. That's just it's gonna add some more features. It's gonna add some more capabilities and things like that. So that's what we have that just came out in November, and that's what's coming in December. If you have any questions, you can always contact us in CISC.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Lee. Some of those updates are really very exciting. And I actually learned something that I always used the download in the black bar for documents. And that is going to be so helpful in the future. I did not realize there was that other download option in those assignments where they submit files. And I love the fact that you can now have the tabs to navigate. That's also going to make things so much easier.
Agreed.
And the other thing I was trying to think, there was something else I was very excited about, and it came back to me. It's that add image and the ability to pull in the image from Unsplash. I've been using Unsplash for a while, a few years, and I love the fact that it's all free, it's copyright, you don't have to worry about copyright. And so now to have that directly integrated into Blackboard is a wonderful feature. I can't wait to play around with it, actually, try it out.
It's really good. And some people have complained to me about Unsplash because they've used it in the past and they said it was extremely limited, but Unsplash is actually growing and getting more and more images in their service. And so it's gone through a lot of improvements too. Yes.
It does. I know what they're saying. It is kind of like Canva as well, where if you have just the basic free, you are limited to some of the images that you can use, but there are still quite a few images I've found in Unsplash that worked just as well. They were not maybe the perfect image, but they've worked really well. So that's another exciting feature.
Yeah,
well,
I agree.
I think everyone's going to be really excited about that. And some of those features coming in December, when we get to see them kind of fully fleshed out, are really exciting as well. And so thank you for sharing that with us. And of course, Lee already said it. If you'd like to continue the conversation with Lee or Rebecca or any member of the CISC team, you can reach out to them. Lee's email is here on the screen for you, lee.mcminn@gvltec.edu. And then Lee's partner in crime over there with Blackboard, Rebecca Roth, rebecca.roth@gvltec.edu. You can also email the CISC staff at gvltec.edu, and someone from their wonderful team over there will connect with you to chat with you, to answer your questions, to provide the assistance that you need. Also, you can check out the link to their LibGuide through the link that's provided in the description underneath this video. It'll take you directly to their LibGuide, which is filled with many different pages of information and links and things. So again, definitely check that out. That's in a link provided in the description below this video. Well, that's our teaching tidbit for Blackboard Ultra in this episode, and we will see you next time.